Hennythemoor reporting live from the liquor store, man. It's been a long, long, long ass day. I just got back from the draft not too long ago. My first draft experience out here in Kansas City. Got some quality content. Stayed from pick 1 to pick 26 because it was a long ass day. After the Cowboys picked, and I knew we weren't trading back into the first round after that, we got on down. But we're gonna talk about everything that happened, man. We're gonna talk about Dallas Cowboys picking Mazi Smith, sort of a curveball for everybody that was on the tight end bandwagon. We're gonna look at, some of the some of the guys still remaining we could take in the second round. We're gonna talk about the entire draft experience from what I seen, what I experienced while I was out there. And we're just gonna have a good time, man. You know what I'm saying? And hey, I know it's late, but the liquor store has to stay open, man. It has to stay open. It's Friday. It's Friday morning. I know a lot of y'all out moving around, ready for the weekend. So come on in, get you some hen, some gin, whatever that makes you sin. And we gonna get drunk on this cowboy content together, man. But hey, before I get too ahead of myself, man, please go ahead, hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button. We're trying to grow the channel, trying to get up to 1,000 subscribers so the page get monetized. And right now we're sitting at about 745 people so far. Hey, Henny, what did you think being there life? Man, being there was cool, man. Being there was real fun, my guy. It was a great experience, a great atmosphere. Saw a lot of Cowboys fans. It was a lot of Chiefs fans. Like, we in Kansas City. It was like 20-1, Chiefs fans in there. But it was cool. A lot of respectable people. A lot of guys showing support for their team. It was a nice experience, man. So I definitely am looking forward to the next couple of days. Definitely forward looking to getting more exclusive content for y'all. So I really like that, man. Hey, shout out to Michelle Fabella for subscribing to the channel. You're the real MVP. Thank you for helping the channel grow, showing love to the content. So yeah, I appreciate that. Hey, Ladora Strings, what's up? Regina Green, what's good with you? I appreciate y'all for tapping in and showing love. All right, so let's jump into it, man. Let's jump into it. It's already late, and I plan to be on here for about an hour, so I don't want to spend too much time, not talking about what's going on. So the Dallas Cowboys, as you saw, took Mazi Smith. Mazi Smith is a defensive tackle that played at Michigan. And if you're talking about a run stopper, if you're talking about a guy on the defensive line that can help you finally get over the hump, that can help you finally stop these teams that want to run the ball down your throat, he is definitely one of them guys. I know there are some players out there, that had big, names like Jalen Carter. I know Reese was a guy that was getting a lot of love. He didn't even get drafted. Kalijah Kancey was getting all the comparisons to Aaron Donald. But Mazi Smith is the best one tech in this year's draft, and he is now Dallas Cowboy. He is the best run-stopping defensive tackle in this year's draft, and he is now on your team. So you gotta love the Mazi Smith pick. If you want the Dallas Cowboys to match up better against these run-dominant teams like the Philadelphia Eagles or the San Francisco 49ers, right, or even the New York Giants like to run the ball a lot with Saquon Barkley and their quarterback. You know what I mean? So you did a good thing. The Dallas Cowboys were the 22nd ranked. Yes, he is the best run stopping one tech in this year's draft. I'm actually gonna pull up some of his statistics so I can just give y'all a better look now that he's a Dallas Cowboy. So I'm gonna share my screen so y'all can follow along with me. And also, Lee side, he cannot be Taco Charlton because Taco Charlton was a pass rusher. Taco Charlton was a guy that came in to play defensive end and couldn't sack the quarterback or couldn't cause too many pressures. They're going to be doing two entirely different things. it is not, you know, a fair comparison. Okay. I actually picked the wrong screen. So let's try this again. Picked the wrong stream. So let me try this again. Mazi Smith, boom. There we go. So we're looking at Mazi Smith right now. We're looking at Mazi Smith. Mazi Smith, 6'3", 323 pounds. So he's just about at 330. Very powerful, very compact player. Graded out as a 79.9 last year. Graded out as an 81.3 run defender. So he was a superb run stopper. You know, this is a guy, when you talk about, you know, a trash can full of dirt, he's a big nasty. Right? He is exactly the kind of defensive interior player that you've been missing from your team. He's not an undersized 280-pound guy that you have to play, you know, to get up field, do this, do that. He is a guy that's going to eat up space. He's going to create lanes for your running backs. I mean, for your linebackers to get to the running backs in the backfield or the quarterback. Like, he is definitely a guy that's going to add, you know, some value to this team. I mean, I don't have to tell myself anything. Like, the numbers tell me all I need to know, Eastside. You know, I know that you're excited about, you know, your draft picks. You know, I know you're excited about getting C.J. Stroud and Will Anderson. But Will Anderson has more of a chance of being taco charred than Mazi Smith has a felon. Because you have a lot of expectations for Will Anderson. Mazi Smith just got to come and do one thing, and then stop the run. You just got to stop the run and help us improve in the middle as a run defense. And he could definitely do that year one. Not even having to start, you know, an entire however many snaps. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have to play a ton of snaps to be effective for the Dallas Cowboys. He could rotate in and out with Big Hankins. You would have almost 700 pounds in between them of run stoppers. Henny, I can't listen to that at 2 a.m. What's that? Oh, you talk about Lee Side talking shit. Let him talk, man. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? He happy that his team has done something of note for the first time in I don't know how long, 20-something years, because they're not good. Yeah, their quarterbacks still have to prove that they can that he can play in the National Football League. Like, they got a lot of hope right now. They ain't got no production. Like, Mazi Smith is definitely a guy that has more instant impact. And look, some of his best games, his best game of the season actually came against TCU. And we all know TCU made it to the championship game. He had an outstanding performance against Ohio State, graded out as a 78.7. And then when you look where he lined up in A gap 185 times, but he held down that B gap 400 snaps playing in the B gap, over tackle 41 times, outside of the tackle and off ball only six snaps combined. So, you know, he is definitely a guy that's out there to fortify the middle of the defense. He's a superb run stopper, big body, true one tech. I can see him getting, you know, at least 60% of the snaps as a rookie. Like, he has a high upside, man. Like, Mazi Smith is a guy that I really like. I really moved off of Mazi Smith for a couple of reasons. You know what I mean? Like, when we were doing these evaluations earlier on, the Dallas Cowboys history said that they did not, you know, value the defensive tackle position. You know, when we talked to, you know, different people, you know, we even had a guest on the show who was a former defensive tackle for the Dallas Cowboys. If you know who I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. Shout outs to him. We have not really invested a lot in the middle of the defense in a very, very, very long time. So that really scared me away from looking at Mazi Smith too in depth. So even though he's a good player, even though he's a guy who I thought could help or run defense immensely, the Dallas Cowboys have not had a real good track record of picking up defensive tackles early. I think one of the highest pick defensive tackles we had was Tristan Hill, and even he was only a second round pick. But this is a new the defensive regime. Dan Quinn has done wonders since he's been here as defensive coordinator. He's made some great personnel choices for the Dallas Cowboys. So I like it. I like it. Mazi Smith fits the mold, everything that we want. Matter of fact, let me get off of this. I'm finna actually show you his scouting report again. And then after I show you his scouting report, we're gonna actually talk about tomorrow, because we're going back to the draft again tomorrow, man. We're going right back in. It starts at 6:00. We're gonna get out there a little bit early, make sure that the phones are charged, make sure I got everything I need to perform, to run the show. And hell, we're gonna get out there, but we're gonna talk about some of the guys that are still available. Do you think Mark will be there late? There's a lot of guys that have been pushed down that have an opportunity of being there. Like Osiris Torrance, in my opinion, is the best guard in the draft. He did not get drafted in the first round. Steve Avila is still there. Then you mentioned your boy Cody Mock, product out of Colorado State. You just look around at all these different players. Joey Porter Jr. is still on the board. So there's a lot of different players, that could fall to us at 58. Drew Sanders. So, but I'll actually put a list up of all the available guys in just a second, so we can just take a look at the best available talent. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do that first, because I'm gonna do that first instead of doing the other thing. And it's a little, matter of fact, that's a little blurry. I'm gonna just have to read that to y'all, man. I'm gonna just have to read that to y'all, because it's blurry as hell on the screen. So it's a list of the best available players on the board. Joey Porter Jr. is at the top. They got him comped to Sauce Gardner. Other noticeable players still on the board: Michael Mayer, tight end out of Notre Dame. His comp is Jason Witten. Osiris Torrance from Florida. Comp is Larry Warford. Cody Mock. Is a name that was just asked about. Marvin Mims, wide receiver out of Oklahoma. Julius Brents. Steve Avila. Drew Sanders. Zach Charbonnet. Darnell Washington. DJ Turner. Daniel Henley. Trenton Simpson. Cedric Tillman. There's a ton of great talent still sitting out there. DeJuan Jones. There's a ton of great talent that has fallen to the second round. A ton of great talent has fallen to the second round at this point. Why do you think Joey Porter Jr. is still there late? Well, statistically, he didn't have the seasons. He didn't have the career like Emmanuel Forbes. Even though Emmanuel Forbes has issue in man coverage, he did lead the NCAA in interceptions. He had 14 career interceptions, and he set the NCAA record with 6 pick 6 touchdowns, right, in his career. You look at a guy like Christian Gonzalez, had a little bit better production. So Joey Porter Jr. is a great athlete. Didn't give up a lot of yardage, but he didn't get a lot of picks in his time as a collegiate player. Didn't get a lot of passes defended. He didn't have like the overall pedigree as some of these other guys. I still think that he is a great corner. I think he probably was, in my opinion, he was like the second best corner in this year's draft, but they thought otherwise. You know what I mean? They took the Banks board from Maryland over him. Christian Gonzalez, Emmanuel Forbes. Emmanuel Forbes is the one that surprised me. I said that he had the highest upside of any defensive back in this year's draft. He was my pet cat. I really liked him. Really, really liked him a lot. but I did not foresee him going that high. You know what I'm saying? I did not foresee him being the first cornerback, being one of the first cornerbacks taken off the board. So I like him. You know, he has a lot of upside, great ball hawking ability. But you know, it's crazy. So I didn't necessarily think he should have went that high. You know, 26 would have probably been around a good spot for him late. You know, he should have been probably like a late first rounder if we're gonna be a first rounder at all. But more power to him. They thought highly of him enough to draft him that high. So it is what it is. But yeah, back to looking at some of these available players, because there's a ton of them, man. And we already got the defensive tackle of our future. We got Mazi Smith for the next 5 years. Speaking of Mazi Smith, real quick, I hate to jump back and forth, but I like to say things before they leave my mind. Right? Read that. Per Kyle Humans, after Dallas drafted Mazi, the Chiefs called and said they had been trying to trade up to draft Mazi Smith. So the Dallas Cowboys did receive a trade offer to move back with the Kansas City Chiefs. They received a trade offer to move back with the Kansas City Chiefs because the Kansas City Chiefs wanted Mazi Smith for themselves. Dallas Cowboys declined, picked Mazi, and we'll see down the line if that was the best thing for the franchise. Right now, looking at it, if it fills every need, and just think about the fact that Mazi Smith is not only going to improve your run defense with the way that he plays, he's also going to make life easier for the guys that play behind him on that other level. He's going to make life easier for Leighton Vandress. He'll have easier lanes, to the running back into the backfield, like I said earlier. Michael Parsons, he could push the pocket, allow Michael Parsons, a shorter distance to get to the edge on a tackle. It's just a lot of things. It's a lot of ripples, to dropping this big body in the middle of this pond, so to speak. Like, there's a lot of guys that are going to benefit immensely, from the fact that he is out there in the middle of the defense. And listen, Kansas City has done a lot of things right these last couple of years. They completely rebuilt their offensive line to help support Patrick Mahomes. Of course, they were able to find Patrick Mahomes in the draft themselves. They got, they found all these different players, made all these different moves. They made some great roster decisions, right? Their general manager and their talent evaluation department, they know what the hell they're doing. So the fact that they wanted Mazi Smith should tell you enough. The fact that the organization that won 2 Super Bowls in the last 4 or 5 seasons wants the player that you just drafted is proof of his value, is proof of his ability, is proof enough that you should be, delighted to have him. It said Cameron said, "My man HTM, I really like this pick. What this dude bring is bigger than people realize, especially with Dan Quinn. He's going to work wonders." I agree, man. And listen, Dan Quinn, yo, Action Pal, what's good with you, Lo? Appreciate you tapping in and showing love to the liquor store, man. So yeah, man. So Dan Quinn has been working with, all these other, less talented defensive tackles. No disrespect to any of those guys, but none of those guys were first round picks. If I'm not mistaken, I think Osa and Neville were around 3rd round picks or something like that. Big Quinn was a 6th round pick. Jonathan Hankins, even though I think he had some good pedigree, he's older, man. Like he came in 2016. You know what I'm saying? He's about 30 years old. So I think, giving Dan Quinn premium talent, he always gets the best out of him. He always does. He knows how to put personnel in position to be successful. So, I really think Mazi Smith is going to shine on this defensive line. And as we do know, whether it's pass rusher or interior lineman, Dan Quinn is always hand on with the defensive line. The defensive line is his baby. He loves the defensive line, even though he calls the game, from the press box or whatever. Like when it's practice, when it's OTAs, things like that. I know we have a defensive line coach, but he likes to be out there going through drills with the defensive linemen. Like he very hands on with them. That's just the area of the team he likes to coach the most. So I have no fear of him, you know, not panning out. You know what I'm saying? Under Dan Quinn's guidance, he's going to be just fine. And the beautiful thing about it, you get to pair him with Hankins, who's had a lot of experience in this league. If I'm not mistaken, it's going to be Hankins' 8th year in the league, so he's had a lot of experience. He hasn't had a lot of playoff experience, but he had a lot of experience playing against these guards and centers. So we'll see. Cowboy Nation, who's ready for Cowboys to start stacking up some offense? Let's go. Hey, it's gonna come, man. Cameron said, I'm even more excited. Parsons really liking that pick. At the end of the day, if most of our front office has faith in this pick, then we have nothing to worry about. Yeah, man. What you think we should focus on next? Well, you improved your defensive line. You should do the same with your offensive line. You looked at the makeup of your team. You noticed that your run defense was only ranked 22nd in the entire National Football League. You were the 22nd ranked run defense. The easiest way to fix your run defense is to improve your ability to prevent guards and center from getting to the second level and bullying your linebackers and safeties. In order to do that, you have to have a defensive tackle up front that can win those matchups. They need to abide time and eat enough space for the linebackers to get where they need to be. So you did that by getting Mazi Smith. You got that big space eater. You got that big one tech. That's not going to be moved. He's very powerful. Got a very good base. So like he's gonna win in the trenches. What you need to do now is improve your pass protection. You were the 28th ranked pass blocking team last year in terms of pass block win rate. So you should improve that end as well. And, as I pointed out, the production in your run game also took a significant dip the moment that Terrence Steele got injured last year. So with that in mind, you should go out here and try to get one of these offensive linemen that are still on the board. As I mentioned, Osiris is still out there. There's guys like Voorhees, who is probably going to be a red shirt, because I think he tore his ACL or tore up his knee. I forget what he did, but he hurt himself during the combine. So he's a guy that won't be able to play for you this year, but he is a guy that would have been a first-round pick had he not hurt himself. So, like I said, Osiris Torrance. I know the Dallas Cowboys had a 30 visit with Steve Avila, who was a Texas native that played at TCU right now, right here. So there are definitely still valuable players, Cody Mock, guys like that can come in and produce for you, help you up front. So it just depends on which direction the Dallas Cowboys want to go. If I'm talking slow or if I'm rambling on, bear with me. It's been a very long, very, very long day. I'm operating on very limited sleep, but we gonna get this content. We gonna rock out for like another 40 minutes or so. Hey, Toxic Juice, what's up with you, man? Hey, we gotta make a late night liquor store run, man. We still got Eagles Tears, we still got Brown, we still got Brandy, we got all the shit you want. See how that work out. Tyrone Church said he wants DeJuan Jones and put the Steele back at left tackle. I don't know, because this is the thing. We talk about moving Steele, but Tyron Smith is healthy right now. You know what I mean? So that is the issue with getting an actual tackle. Because I don't know what you would do with Tyron Smith, because you restructured him, brought him back, gave him incentives to play. He's completely healthy right now, and when he's healthy, he's a very good left tackle. So I know that his injury is probably going to be inevitable. I think it's something that's probably going to happen at some point. But right now, like you can go in here with him as your starting left tackle, Tyler Smith as your starting left guard, and then you really only need some better. You really don't need anything. You know what I mean? If you do it like that, that's the real puzzling thing, because offensive line is something that you need. At the same time, it's something that if you put guys at their best positions, then you can get away with not addressing it right off the bat. So it's tricky, man, because I do want an offensive lineman that can play for me right now, but I also don't know how the Dallas Cowboys are evaluating the line. I don't know who's a swing tackle. Mazi wouldn't have been my pick. I like Ben and Hennythemoor. I wouldn't have gone O-line too and got Ben or Ika in the second, but I trust McClay and McCarthy have a plan. And that's completely fine, my brother, because you can have different opinions about player evaluation. You can see things on tape that one guy does better than other guys and form that opinion. You can look at different numbers and form that opinion. So there's nothing wrong, as because there's, like I said, there's 31 teams that drafted in the first round this year, and there were 31 different draft boards. There were certain guys higher than certain guys. There were certain guys that some people had first round grades on, that other guys had second round grades on, right? Joey Porter, this entire drafting process was supposed to be a first round pick, and he got pushed down to the second round. So, these things, fall, they fall real different. Everybody, has different ways and different things they look at when they do players evaluation. So there's nothing wrong with having a difference of opinion about which player you prefer. So we're not gonna drag you for that, especially since we all want the players we draft to be successful anyway. You know what I mean? And I'm the same. And listen, I'm saying that now. I'm the same guy that probably would have knocked all the shit over in here. They had drafted a tight end with the first round pick. So, you know, I actually like the pick fixing the D line. I like the pick a lot too. I'm very high on Mazi Smith. I believe he's the best one tech. I trust what they said about Ball and let's go as much as tight end in the first. Man, now to be fair, I think Let's Go is way better than Josh Ball. I think Josh Ball should not have been on the team up to this point. I really think that he had got beaten out in training camp and in preseason. I think Deontay Collins outplayed him, like straight up. He outplayed him. That's what I saw. He straight up outplayed that man. But you know, he, I just hope the Dallas Cowboys are never in position to have to play him. Well, Let's Go is a different story. I haven't really seen him play a lot with the injury. But he has the size and he has the size. You know what I mean? So we just got to see if he can put it together. But he's still a very young player in his own right. He said hard to tell with the Jones boys. They like their guys, can't swallow their egos. It's the fumble draft pick. And I feel that too, man. I feel that too, because they got what they like. Also, I want everybody to remember, if you see at the bottom, $5 jersey raffle is still ongoing. The last one went very well. We opened up the new raffle early. I was gonna start it at the beginning of May, but it went so well, I went ahead and started it yesterday. So if you send $5 to $Hennythemoor, you will be entered in for a chance to win a Dallas Cowboy jersey of your choice, and I will announce the winner on the 31st of next month. So on the 31st of May, I will announce the winner for this jersey raffle. And somebody please tell the lunatic to get with me so he can tell me what jersey he want. I've already DM'd him, but I haven't heard back from Kimfo yet. So please, if you can hit up the lunatic for me, let him know that I'm still trying to get him his jersey because he won the last raffle. So please let him know. Everybody out tight end. Hey, that's a good smoke screen. What did he say? Because he has not inboxed me back. Let me show y'all. Let's see. I hit him with. I took a screenshot showing that he won. Then I messaged him and told him what he needed to do. Because just send me his size and so on and so forth, mailing address. Tell me the people person he want. So I need him to let me know so I can send it. If you look at the body language when the reporter asked about Baldwin, let's go, I think it says something completely opposite of what was said. I mean, what are they supposed to say? Yeah. If we go O-line second round, who do you have your eyes on? For me, it would be an interior lineman because I think you got a lot of position flex at the left tackle at the tackles position. I think you're fine with Terrence Steele. Yeah, I think you're fine with Terrence Steele. I think you're fine with either Tyler Smith or Tyron Smith, whichever one you want to play at which position. Then the guy you picked up, even though I think they envision him as being a guard, the former Jet we picked up, he could play tackle as well. So you already got a lot of position flex at tackle. You don't have a lot of position flex at the guard spot. So that would be the area to try and try to upgrade. Especially, if you don't plan on keeping Tyron Smith too much longer. He said, "You're right, Dallas Law. I get it completely. I don't believe either way. They're just saying things to make it seem we don't have an issue at O-line, which is not true. Yeah, you got to improve your pass blocking. And remember, part of the issue is because the Dallas Cowboys did not have Tyron Smith for majority of the season, and when he did come back healthy, they put him at right tackle because of the Terrence Steele issue. So they did some stupid stuff. Yeah, and it's up. I agree with that. He says uplifting they are addressing their needs. Yeah, years past they would have tried to sold you on somebody on the roster already. So the fact that the Dallas Cowboys were proactive in trying to improve a major flaw, in their defense, I can live with that. It's not. And listen, line players, unless you're a pass rusher, offensive line and interior defensive line is never sexy for the most part. It's never sexy at all for the most part. But, those are the guys that do a lot of the dirty work that goes, unnoticed and unappreciated that really lead to a lot of wins. Protecting your quarterback, being able to control both sides of the line of scrimmage, which also leads to you being able to control time of possession and flow of the game are priceless. So, I definitely believe in the first move Dallas Cowboys have made. I just need to see them, continue to grow. I just need to see them continue to push and get guys in that can definitely help the team. Hey, Steven Harrison, what's up with you, my boy? I appreciate you for tapping in and showing love. Glad have fun at the draft. It's the brother Matt Batten. He said, glad you had fun at the draft. That's Mazi Smith pick ruined my whole night, dude. Draft not being good to me. Hopefully day 2 will be better too. Now, see, I'm not sure what position my good friend was thinking about us getting, but it's definitely a position that can help us. So when you look at it, the teams we got to go through, Philly likes to run the ball. They have a mobile quarterback. I'm pretty sure they will address their running back position as well eventually. So that's a team that you need to be able to stop the run against. When you look at the Giants in our division, they run the ball a lot. You need to be able to stop them. When you look at the San Francisco 49ers, who bounced us back-to-back years, They are one of the most run heavy teams in the National Football League. You need to be able to stop them. So it's a very it's a slam dunk for me. You know what I'm saying? It was very open and shut with the personnel on the board. Like, I'm fine with it. Now, I also would like Osiris Torrance. I was big on him getting drafted, but I also understand, and you still have a chance to get him, which is even better. You know what I'm saying? Because there's two offensive linemen just off the top of my head. There's really three. There's three offensive linemen in the second round right now that have friend first round grades: Mock, Torrance, and Villa. You know what I mean? Some people have Villa mocked us at 26. Some people had Torrance mocked us at 26. Some people looked at Mock, said he could be worthy of a 26 pick. So there's still plenty of offensive linemen that we can help. Honestly, picking at the back of the draft, and all of them might be a little bit of a reach, but also keep in mind the Chiefs were trying to jump Dallas. Yeah, we just talked about that, Bruce. We just talked about that. Chiefs were indeed infatuated with Mazi Smith, wanted to trade up and get him. So I like it. If the Chiefs want him, I know he could play. If the Chiefs want that boy, I know for a fact he could play. Everybody coming into the liquor store, man, I need y'all to hit the like button, hit the share button, and if you ain't already joined the channel, please hit subscribe for me, man. Drafting Mazi Smith smells the end of Neville Gallimore, and this the thing. Neville Gallimore was screwed anyway because the best three tech on our team is Osa. Osa is the best three tech. Well, Neville Gallimore is really only suited to play three tech as well. Now, they tried to play him at one tech. It just wasn't really successful. So, he was screwed regardless because he's not a better three tech than Osa. And even now, he's not a better three tech than Hankins. Show won't be a better three tech than Mazi. So I think he was screwed from the jump. You know what I'm saying? If he was a premier pick or something that you could save some money by cutting, I think, he would be on the cutting room floor already. So, But yeah, I definitely like Mazi. I definitely like Mazi, what he brings. And I don't think he has anything to do with the downfall of Neville Gallimore. I think Neville Gallimore, was already on the outs. But yeah, I am interested in what the Dallas Cowboys are wanting to do now. Because when you think about it, man, like Tank Dell didn't even get picked. You know what I mean? Like Tank Dell is a guy that's also on the board that hasn't been picked. Trent Simpson. Man, there's some very interesting prospects still out there, man. Hey, David Sorrellis, what's good with you, my brother? I appreciate you tapping in, showing love to the liquor store, my guy. Regina Green, okay, so I think we could even flip Gallimore if some people have interest in him, but that's if people have interest in him. Well, there's only so many quality defensive tackles in the National Football League anyway. So if a team thinks a guy has upside or value, I can definitely see a team giving up maybe a late round pick for Gallimore. I definitely see the possibility of them giving up a late round pick to get Gallimore. But yeah, so out of the guys remaining, like who do y'all have your eyes set on? Out of the players that are still available on the board, who would you prefer the Dallas Cowboys to get? Do you want to go offensive line, or do you want to go offensive weapon? Mr. Kima says Zay Flowers looks like a 17-year-old kid. Hey, he do. He do like a 17. He's a young. Hey, and listen, y'all know these kids are young, dog. They ain't that old. They ain't that they ain't that old at all. They were just 17 not too long ago. I can't remember what it was like to be 17. April Shower, what we sipping tonight? I'm good with the pick. We sipping on Eagles tears, and we're gonna wash it down with some Hennessy. All right, April Shower said O-line is her pick. I don't mind O-line. I don't mind O-line, and I don't mind wide receiver. And at this point, man, we're so far back in the second round. I don't mind tight end either. Man, I was surprised Kincaid fell so late in the draft. This was not expected at all. Matthew Bergen, Josh Downs, or Darnell Washington trade back up and drive and go get Drew Sanders. See, you trying to get Dan Quinn all the weapons. Nothing wrong with it though. Definitely nothing wrong with it. You know, I'm an Arkansas boy, so I don't mind getting Drew Sanders in the second round. And that's crazy. Look at all these guys that had first round picks. You know, that were supposed to be first round picks that ended up falling completely out of the first round. Drew Sanders. But I told y'all that Drew Sanders was probably not gonna be a first round pick. He only had 1 year of production. He was a guy that converted from defensive end to play outside linebacker. You know, he was pretty much riding the bench in Alabama. And when he finally got to Arkansas, you know, that was his 1 year being productive. So, you know, I understand why some teams were not willing to use a first round pick on him. That's a 5-year commitment to a player that you don't know for sure can duplicate the kind of success that he had with the Arkansas Razorbacks. Downs is another guy that was supposed to be a very late round wide receiver. You know, some people were saying Tank Dell would move up into the first round. You know, a lot of people had Osiris Torrance as a first round pick. I believe at some point we will address both. It just depends on who falls where. And if you know, I think we need another running back. They talked about the emphasis of wanting to run the ball a lot. When you look at the track record of Brian Schottenheimer, he is going to be running a lot of power run formations. So you probably need another running back. He's worth it there, Steven, for sure. But I'll still more so a Darnell fan at 58. And that's the route we go. I want either O-line or wide receiver or both if we make the proper trade. Okay, I feel that. But listen, I feel like because the Dallas Cowboys were so good round one, like they went in and got, you know, one of the better defensive interior players in this year's draft. You know, I will be lenient with them tomorrow. I will be very lenient with them and what they want to do. You know, if you want a tight end, get a tight end. You want a wide receiver, get a wide receiver. You know what I'm saying? Like I will let you make it all the way around. I will let the Dallas Cowboys make it all the way around because they did the damn thing with this pick. They definitely did, man. He's worth. Oh, I already read that. Second round will be a bloodbath like round one. Hey, man, it's gonna be a bunch of head scratching picks, a bunch of surprises. I wouldn't be surprised there were a couple more trades that happened. So I'm definitely gonna be excited to go up there tomorrow and see what happens in person. Dog, it went. Hey, matter of fact, like it went crazy. Everybody in the crowd, you know, went crazy when the Texans traded back into the first round. You know, after picking number 2. So they picked number 2, then picked number 3. Like that blew everybody's mind. Yeah, that definitely blew everybody's mind, man. Me too. I expected Mazi have to say McCarthy did such a great job at these smoke screens. No one suspected Mazi. Good. I'm glad nobody suspected Mazi because Mazi is a very good player, and we definitely needed him. We definitely needed Mazi Smith to do what we need to do going forward. He's gonna be a very integral part of your interior defense if you want to advance in these playoff games. Because when a team can't run on you, they got to throw against you. And you try to throw against the Dallas Cowboys, that means you're going to have to try and block Michael Parsons. You're going to have to try and block Sam Williams. And you're going to have to try and throw the ball against Trayvon Diggs, Stephon Gilmore, and the run plan. So once the Dallas Cowboys are to the point where they can stop the run and teams have no choice but to throw against them, like they will be the best defense in the National Football League. Because they will effectively be overpowered. You can't run against them. You can't throw against them. That means you can't score against them. So what the hell are you going to do to beat them? Hey, DC4 Life Texas said he going to bed. But hey, man, rock with me in the morning, my guy. I know it's super late. Matter of fact, we finna go ahead and close the liquor store down in just a second, man. We're gonna close the liquor store down in just a second. Johnny Herrera, what's up with you, man? Stephen Harrison said Mazi expected him. Hey, he did. I saw that video from earlier in the day. I saw the video from earlier in the day. It's the perfect pick, man. Matter of fact, you remember what Ray Lewis said, about defensive tackle. He said his front office came to him and asked him what he needed to be a better linebacker. He said he needed a big, fat, nasty defensive tackle to put in front of him. Right, and that's when the Ravens went and got him Haloti Ngata. And the rest was history. And Haloti Ngata does not get a lot of love or respect for the dirty work that he did, but he was a very integral part of the interior of that defense. And Ray Lewis swears, that his acquisition was what springboarded him to be successful. Hey, last call for alcohol, man. So if you're trying to drink Eagles tears, or you're trying to use, your discount, because remember, if you slap the shit out of an Eagles fan, you will receive half off all items in the store. You will receive half off all items in the store. So please use your discount while supplies last. Please use your discount while supplies last. I really enjoyed seeing Cowboys fry about that trash pick Mazi. Well, that's your personal opinion. You know what I mean? You don't think Mazi is him? You're wrong, because Mazi is a damn dog. And it's really beautiful that you come in here. Say, I live near Eagles fan that's done. Yeah, get to slapping. I know your hand gonna tingle a little bit. You might have a little shit on your hand after you slap them, because they might have a fresh, raw piece of shit, hanging from their mouth when you slap them. But just put a little soap and water, some disinfectant on it, you'll be okay. Why don't you try slapping an Eagle fan yourself? Shit, I'll slap you. You want me to? I slap the fuck out you. You want me to? Just let me know. When y'all can't do anything against us on offense, Eastside come back and talk to us. We've been crying for our DT, and some are crying. Yeah, they stupid. They don't know what the hell they want. They do not know what they want. Oh, yeah, we having a great time, Johnny. We having a great time up here, man. Talking shit, showing love. He said, stop. No, we will not stop. We've been crying. Yeah, man. Listen, year in and year out, our team has been insufficient in stopping opposing teams from imposing their will by running the ball against us. We've been a bottom-ranked run defense for multiple consecutive seasons. and we have gotten one of the best run stopping defensive tackles, available. So with that said, there is no reason for people to be bitching and moaning. This like being sick and then bitching and crying because the medicine tastes nasty. The medicine is gonna save your life, but the medicine gonna save your life. You're gonna live multiple more years, but you up here crying and kicking because it doesn't taste like Kool-Aid. Just got an earthquake in Southern California, man. I hope you're good, my brother. Yeah, I know y'all get a lot of earthquakes out that way because of the San Andreas fault line. So we have to admit the past few drafts are different and more focused. Yeah, like we made some moves. The past couple of drafts. I don't think they would have made multiple years before. And it was actually a decent move of them to actually stay put. I was very pro move up and get your guy, but I don't think I think that some of the other guys I think some of the teams aren't really high on this year's draft. I think it's a draft that a lot of teams feel like the later rounds are very deep, but I don't think a lot of people had a lot of stock in the first round pick guys. I'm not saying that these guys that there won't be multiple all pros or pro bowlers or things like that, but I don't think everybody were super sold on the guys in the first this year. The Dallas Cowboys themselves said they only had 15 to 18 first round grades on players. And thank God that one of those 15 to 18 guys was on the board still, right? With 25 people picking ahead of you, though that number, it wasn't really mathing too good at first. But as we all know, not everybody can draft good. Can someone remind me what team had the second and third pick in the NFL draft? Y'all did. Can anybody remind me of how bad you had to be to get it? We up here trying to win a Super Bowl, man. We up here trying to see how we can beat the 49ers, how we can win our division, things like that. Y'all just trying to find out how to win 9 games. What I'm talking about. Like there's different levels to building your team. Like we're already at that plateau where we're winning double digit games and going to the playoffs every year. We're just trying to find a way to go deeper into the playoffs. Your team is right now trying to find how to win, trying to find how to get to the playoffs, trying to find how to win their division. Like y'all are still in a much earlier stage of your roster development than we are. So we're not the same. We're up here trying to compete for a title. If both those picks don't hit, then y'all didn't win anything. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, and listen, I like CJ Stroud and I like Will Anderson. It's still no guarantee that they will develop into a world, into quality starting players in the NFL. There's no guarantee. But yeah, man, it's late. I'm finna go to sleep. It's down there 2:00 in the morning. We gotta get back up, do the same thing over again, man. So I appreciate y'all. I always say to drink and drive responsibly, but you see an Eagles fan in the middle of the road, you can run their goofy ass over. And you can side swipe my boy Eastside Harold too. He been in here talking crazy. So you can run over an Eagles fan, you can side swipe Eastside Harold ass. Hey, all love. I appreciate y'all for y'all support, man. And I will get at y'all later. Peace.